Be kind enough to give this video a thumbs up. Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be making this gown that you can see. If this looks like what you love, then keep on watching. Let's get into the video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and turn on notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Without further ado, let's dive into the video. Thank you for my returning subscribers. For this tutorial, I made use of an African print. I made use of 3 yards, and then the chantiles was half yards. You also be needing your lining, your zipper, your thread. You can make use of any fabric of your choice. So if you haven't seen my video on how to sew a bustier with yoke, it is more detailed there. Please do check it out. Okay, I'll be a bit fast. So this is my starting line, and we'll be taking our measurement from that line. So to know the amount of fabric to fold, divide the biggest part of your body measurement, be it your waist or your bust, and then add about 4 inches or 5 inches to your measurements. So now I just marked the armhole line, and then this is the bust line, this is the under bust line, and then the waist line. So go ahead and mark your own body measurement. Okay, so you may be needing more African prints depending on your size. So after marking this on this shoulder line, I'll just place my shoulder measurement of 7 inches. So I'll be marking 7.5 inches because I'm cutting directly on the fabric, and then I'll just bring it down. Okay, so I'll mark the same thing here, and then I'll connect it into a straight line to meet the chest line or armhole line. And then after doing that, I'll measure what I have here. I have 8 inches, and then I'll divide it into 2, making 4. On this 4 inches mark, I'll go in by ½ inch. Okay, and then I'll come to this chest line and impute my chest circumference measurement, my bust circumference measurement, and then I'll connect it just the way you see me demonstrating. After connecting it, you should have something like this. Okay, so now we'll be taking our neck width of 3 inches, neck depth, so don't forget to come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slope, and that is just what I did now. And then we'll be marking the neck width 3 inches. Okay, I've marked that before. And then we'll be coming down by 3 inches for the neck depth, and then go ahead and connect your desired neckline. Okay, so now we'll be marking our bust span known as nipple to nipple, and mine is 3.5 inches. So I marked 4 inches because I am cutting directly on the fabric, and then you connect it into a straight line. So add ½ inch to yours as well. And then on this side, going towards the armhole area, I will mark 1 inch. Note that this 1 inch is not standard. Okay, it's not standard. Okay, so I just marked the 1 inch, and on this other side I marked ½ inch, and I'll connect them together so you can see what we have. And then on the bust point, I will come down by ½ inch. This is to get rid of any pointiness around the bust area, and then I'll connect it to this 1 inch and ½ inch that I already have here. So after connecting it, what we'll be doing now is to create our new neckline, because this dress will be having a yoke. So initially I marked 5 inches, but I realized it was too up. Okay, so I'll just mark 6 inches instead. So go ahead and mark what you want. It depends on how much cleavage you want to show. So I used 6 inches, and I also marked 6 inches here, and then I'll connect it into a straight line just like this. So after connecting it into a straight line, this my nipple, I'll have to extend it, and to do that I'll just mark the same 4 inches here, and then I'll extend it like this. And then for our under bust tightening, I'll be taking ½ inch on both sides. You can do 0.75, and then I'll connect it to the bust point, but I'll go up by half inch around the bust area again, and then I'll connect it like this. Okay, so after connecting it, now it's a sweetheart neckline, so you can use 2 inches, 3 inches, okay, for your sweetheart neckline. So what I used was 1 inch, and I just came down by 1 inch, and then I'll connect it just the way you see me demonstrating. Okay, so this neckline just depends on what you want. Actually, you can make yours deeper, you can make it higher, it just depends on what you want. Okay, and I'll connect this other dart into the armhole just like this. So just go ahead and do this until you get what you want. Okay, so this is what I have, and that's basically it for this. Now we've been putting our body measurements. Okay, so I've already marked my bust line, so I'll replace this dart here because I don't want to have any shortage at all. Since I'm cutting on the fabric, you have to be very, very careful. And then I added my stitching allowance, okay, sewing allowance, and then I marked my waist circumference. I'll replace this dart as well, okay, which is 1.5 inches. And then I am going to mark my stitching allowance, connect it into a straight line, and then we will be cutting this out. So watch how I cut it so that you don't end up making mistakes when cutting yours. So I added half inch at the shoulder. Okay, so don't forget to notch your bust points. Okay, so don't forget to notch your bust points, and this is what I have. So now for the yoke, this is the yoke. Okay, I'll cut it out, okay, with my net, and this is what I have after. You can say I added half inch, okay, because I'll be joining it to the down part. So I've also cut out my wording, as you can see. So I'll just place it like so, and then I'll stitch it down. So if you don't know how to cut out your wording, please, I have it on my channel as well, just check it out. Okay, so now I'll place it like this, and then I'll stitch it down. After stitching it down, this is what I have. I used a light wording, by the way. This is what I have, and you can see how beautiful it is looking like already. Okay, so what you do now is to notch your under bust. After attaching it like this, go ahead and notch your under bust just like this, and then you open your seams and give it a good press. Okay, you open your seams flat, and then you give it a good press. This way it will lay perfectly. So now to fix our net, what you do is to place your top like this, and then you bring the net. So you place it right side facing right side, just like this. Okay, and you place it the middle part. Okay, so it is advisable that you stitch from one middle to the, okay, and then flip it and stitch the other middle. I don't know if you understand. So you start stitching from the middle part. So that was what I did, but if you want to stitch from one end to the other, that's basically fine for you. So I'll just stitch that using half inch, and this is what I have. Now I'll use my bias to turn the neckline. I use the black bias. Just place it like this, stitch it on one side and flip it over. So for the back piece, I have a zipper allowance, starting line, I have my chest line, I have my bust line, and then I have my waistline. So I'll mark my shoulder of 7.5 inches, just what I did for the front piece, and I'll mark the same thing and connect it into a straight line just like this. And then I'll input my bust circumference measurement. Do not forget that all our measurement is being taken from that zipper line. So I just connected my armhole and then I'll come to my chest line, place my chest measurement, then I'll be marking out a dart. Okay, the back piece will be having a dart as well. So I just marked my bust span and then I connected it. Okay, and I extended it to the chest line like this. Okay, and then on the waistline I'll take half inch on both sides. This half inch is for the my dart, my back dart. Okay, and then I'll connect it this way. After connecting it, now we will have to replace that on our measurement. Okay, so half inch, that is 1 inch. So I'm going to replace it. This is my measurement. I'm replacing it now, and then I added my stitching allowance. So for the bust, I added my stitching allowance as well, and then I connected it into a straight line, and then we'll be creating the neckline for the back. So I want the back to be a bit deep, so I used 8 inches, and then I marked it like this. And then for the width, 3 inches, it has to be the same with that of the front. And then don't forget your shoulder slope. So I just marked 1 inch for my shoulder slope, just like this. And then I'll go ahead and create my desired neckline for the back. So go ahead and repeat the same thing for yours. Okay, go ahead and create your own desired neckline. So that's basically it for the back bodies. So before we cut this, we have to get rid of zipper bulge at the back. Okay, so what to do is to just mark half-inch, like so. There are different ways you can actually do this. Okay, so I just marked half-inch, and I'm going to connect this half-inch in a slanted manner, just the way you see me doing. Okay, so you can see how I placed my ruler. Okay, you can see that it is slanted. So I'll cut this out. When I cut it, you understand. Okay. Don't forget to add half-inch on your shoulder. Okay, so you can see that I've cut it, and you can see how slanted it is looking like. So now for the back, I have also cut out a lining piece. I did not add an estay to the lining, so I'm just sewing this just like this. So I'll place it this way. So I'll just place it like this, and then I'll just stitch the neckline. So I'll stitch the neckline and the zipper area, and then I'll stitch the side. So the only part I will not be stitching is the armhole and the under part. Okay, so that's just where I will not be stitching. So this is what I have after I was done. Can you see? This is the front piece, and this is what it is looking like. So, and this is the back piece. I have done that. I have also stitched my dart down. Okay, so this is what it is also looking like. Very neat and beautiful. So what I'll be doing is to cut the skirt part. For the skirt part, that is the starting line, and this is the zipper line for the back. I'm cutting both the front and the back together. Just mark my hip line, and then to know the length of skirt that you'll be cutting out, all you need to do is to minus your half length, that is the upper part of your dress, from the skirt length, and that is just what I did, and that was how I cut out the skirt. Okay, then now on this waistline, I'll input my waist circumference measurement. I'm not using a dart for the skirt, so I just mark stitching allowance of 1 inch, and then I came to my hip. I'll mark my hip circumference as well, and then I'll input 1 inch for my stitching allowance. Go ahead and connect like this. Then I'll measure what I have on the hip line, and then I'll replace it on the length of the skirt. I don't want it to be penciled, so you can go ahead and minus yours if you want a really pencil skirt. After that, I just went ahead to cut this out, and then I splitted the back into two. So now I have joined the skirt. Okay, I'm so sorry, I did not know that I was not filming that. Please just join your pencil skirt just the way you join your normal pencil skirt, and then I just attach the front to the front skirt and then the back to the back. So all you need to do now is to place the front piece in between your back piece, the shoulder, just like this, and stitch it down by ½ inch. Okay, so you have to place it in between. Okay, in between your lining and your fabric, around the shoulder area, then you stitch it down. It will make it look very neat. And then you are going to fix our zipper, fix the sides, measure using our body measurements. Okay, for the sleeve, what I did was just to fold it and cut out a basic normal sleeve. So I just fold it into two like this. Okay, and then I'll just make sure they are equal, and then I marked out the length of my sleeve. So I just marked out the length of the sleeve like this, and then after marking that out, I just came down from that mark. I came down by 4 inches. This is my bicep line, and then on that line I just marked my armhole circumference basically. So that was just what I did for this particular sleeve, just like this, and then I'll connect it like so. So after connecting it like this, I'll now come to the length of the sleeve, and then I'll mark my round arm circumference. Okay, so just place where your sleeve will stop like this and measure it and divide it by 2. So that was just what I did. What I have is 8 inches, dividing by 2 is 4, and then I added 1 inch, making it 5, and that was what I marked, and then I connected it this way. So this other part might be bigger, but as I stitch I'll slim it down. Okay, so now I'll just go ahead and trace out what I have, and this is it for the sleeve. So I'll just attach this sleeve to the fabric, and I'll be cutting out 2 sleeves. That is all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.